Hello, students. Today, in the subject of science and management, we are going to study the topic that is dealing with PTSD. The full form of PTSD is post traumatic stress syndrome. Yesterday's class was fully about trauma and types of trauma. Now, today, we'll be dealing about all the details that are involved in this very particular topic. The most important thing about this topic is that most recently they have discovered every single detail, and new researches have found new dimensions that have not been discovered earlier. So, outcome of this topic will be that you will be able to understand what are its implementation concerning about the forensics. Okay, and how you can get benefit because of the knowledge of PTSD substantially. So, starting the topic, you must understand the real meaning of PTSD. So, what is post-traumatic stress disorder? Okay, so we must understand this disorder and what are its significant effects and how it can be treated. So, post traumatic stress disorder is a psychiatric disorder that may occur in people who have experienced or witnessed a traumatic event, such as a natural disaster, any mishappening, okay, a serious accident, a terrorist attack, war, combat, or rape, or who have been threatened with death, sexual violence, or serious injury. So all these things are combined together when it comes to explaining the PTSD in a very simple manner. Okay, so PTSD deals substantially with a vast array of such things. On the other hand, it also combines the potential of dealing with other things, such as mostly in earlier century, people were not able to understand what are the dramatic effects and what are the uh, post-war or combat psychiatric injuries that most of the soldiers they experience. It was unknown. But with the evidence of 21st century, we are able to understand the mental health issues and the psychiatric issues that are linked with it. So, post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) is a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event. So, the very first condition is that it should be a really life-threatening experience. Okay, where you are totally convinced that you will lose your life or you will get a serious injury. Either experience it or witnessing it. Symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety, as well as uncontrollable thoughts about the event. So, most of the people who suffer from PTSD or post traumatic stress disorder, they always have these flashbacks and nightmares because they have a lot of difficulty in sleeping and severe anxiety as well as uncontrollable thoughts about the event. So there would be many triggers that significantly can stimulate this mishappening. Okay, so this type of mishappening can very easily deal with these substantial ways. So on the other hand, when you deal with these things, What do you experience? You experience uh, that you have witnessed something that was really bad, and you have witnessed something that was substantially of very bad experience. Okay, most people who go through traumatic events may have temporary difficulty in adjusting and coping, but with time and good self care, they usually get better. So it is not like that these conditions are not at all uh, what do you say, they cannot be treated or they cannot be uh, handled with care. They can be cured, and many people they get cured. Because of that, medications are also available and proper treatment strategies are also now available. So you have to heal the person. Okay, so when you are dealing with a crime scene, the victim or even the experts also, they can sometimes have such difficulties. Okay, not only victims are the person who are suffering from PTSD. Even the investigators, they also see sometimes some horrific event that can uh, lose, or that can put a long-lasting impression on the memory of the individual. Okay, so most people who go through traumatic events may have temporarily a difficulty adjusting and coping, but with time and good self-care, they usually get better. If the symptoms get worse, last for months or even years, and interference with your day-to-day functioning, you may have PTSD. So, okay, it is fine that you were exposed to some life-threatening experience and you felt bad, really bad, and but with time, these symptoms are getting worse. Okay, and okay, getting these shocks for 1 or 2 days is fine. But if they are lasting for months or even years, and they are getting worse day by day, and they have started affecting your day-to-day life, then the situation is really critical, and then you need some special attention also. Okay, so PTSD is a normal thing. Okay, any person who has been exposed to bad experience or witnessed some traumatic events, they may have some PTSD, but it should not have a long lasting impression on your day to day life, and it should not affect your daily functionality. Getting effective treatment after PTSD symptoms develop can be critical to reduce symptoms and improve functions. So you must always consult the expert to offer a very good therapy, and these therapies are most probably able to deal with these events or their memories. So, post-traumatic stress disorder, once called shell shock or battle fatigue syndrome, is a serious condition that can develop after a person has experienced or witnessed a traumatic or terrifying event in which there was a serious physical harm or threat. So it was initially it was experienced by the soldiers, or where it was recorded officially during the events of First World War. So there they used to call it shell shock. Okay, so once called shell shock or battle fatigue syndrome. So doctors were not able to clearly identify the situation, and they had never been through such an experience. Okay, because they have already always been studying the anatomy and physiology of human body, not the way that particular body reacts in such situation. So they used to call it shell shock or battle fatigue. So it used to be a serious condition that can develop a person uh, after a person has witnessed traumatic or terrifying events uh, in which there was a physical harm or threat involved. So, because most of the time these things they do not have a very good memory, and a person experiences a lot of killing or a lot of death all around him, so it affects the person's individuality. Okay, PTSD is a lasting consequence of traumatic ordeals that cause intense fear, helplessness, or horror. So, it is a very serious issue if the individual is suffering from PTSD. Okay, example of the things that can bring PTSD include sexual or physical assault, unexpected death of a loved one, accident, war, natural disasters. Families of victims can develop PTSD as an emergency personnel and rescue workers. So most of the time, not only these traumatic events, but unexpected death of a loved one or a family member can also result in the same PTSD uh, problem. So it's very natural and it's very much understood, because most of the time when these situations are taking place and these things are happening, not only the victims are much more prone to uh, these conditions, but on the other hand, emergency personnel, those who are the first one to respond to any crime scene or any such events, so they also experience such traumatic conditions, right? So when we are dealing with such things, the rescue workers, they also might have such issues, and they also might have such problems. It is very natural, all are human beings. Most people who have traumatic events will have reactions that may include shock, anger, nervousness, fear, and even guilt. Mostly it is survival guilt. Okay. These reactions are common, and for most people, they go away over time. So it is also a very common process that an individual who has experienced such situation may have such kind of experience, and they might have such kind of reaction. Okay, but these things they fade away over time. They people they get over it. For a person with PTSD, however, these feelings continue and even increase, becoming so strong that they keep the person from going about their life as expected. So, but having some type of traumatic stress is common after some accident or any of such event. But these things they go away or they fade away over long duration of time. But conditions that can really be difficult, the condition gets really critical if these feelings they continue as such, and even they become enhanced and increased to such an extent that they start to affect the individual at at and during his daily activities. So they have started affecting the daily activities of the individual. People with PTSD have symptoms for longer than 1 month and can't function as well as before the event that triggered it happened. So, how this condition is evaluated? If these things are being in continuation after 1 month, and people are not able to function properly, and uh, before that event that triggered it happened, so they might also suffer from some triggers. Okay, from like loud noise of crackers. Okay, can immediately bring back those memories, or some very bad experience also can bring back some memories, or some kind of situation or odd scenarios. They also play these vital roles. So people with PTSD have intense disturbing thoughts and feelings related to their experience that last long after the traumatic event has ended. So most probably, uh, what we are trying to study is that these such kind of thoughts are very common, but they go away after a short duration of time. But problem arises when these memories they get stronger after a very long duration of time, and they are not going to fade away. So they may relieve the event through flashbacks or nightmares. They may feel sadness, fear, or anger, and they even be feel detached or estranged from other people. Most importantly, these type of individuals they uh, have very short temper. Okay, they do get easily triggered by other problems, and they do fade away uh, from people. Okay, they detach themselves from society. They don't want to mix with other people. They don't want to talk to other people. People with PTSD may avoid situations or other people that remind them of the traumatic events. Okay, so they are always trying to avoid the situations or conditions that trigger that memory. Okay, and they always try to avoid themselves from going into crowded places also, and they may have strong negative reactions to something as ordinary as a loud noise or an accidental touch. So people who have went through these experiences, they may immediately react in a very awkward situation if you touch them accidentally, or or if they heard a loud noise. Right? A diagnosis of PTSD requires exposure to an upsetting trauma events. However, exposure could be indirect rather than first hand. Okay, so here they are not having the first hand experience, but they are having the exposure to that event. For example, PTSD could occur in an individual learning about the violent death of a close family or a friend. So it also develops into the closely related family members who die in an accident or a sudden death or violent death. So when they hear the news, then also they also respond in a very similar manner. It can also occur as a result of repeated exposure to horrible details of trauma, such as police officers exposed to details of child abuse cases. So, when we are dealing with forensics, even the police officers, okay, law enforcement officers, and forensic experts, they are also prone to develop PTSD when they are dealing with the cases where children are involved, or any of the such abuse, uh, the cases which include child abuse. So, these conditions are very common, and normal individuals can also develop such scenarios. And what are the symptoms and diagnosis uh, of these things? Symptoms of PTSD fall into four categories. Specific symptoms can vary in severity, like intrusion, intrusive thoughts such as repeated involuntary memories, okay, distressing dreams. They don't have very good dreams, so they don't want to sleep, and that's why they uh, what you say, they are somewhat directed towards the uh, uh, narcotics, drugs, alcohol, all those things, or flashbacks or traumatic events. Okay, flashback may be so vivid that people feel they are reliving the traumatic experience or seeing it before their eyes. So, flashback can be really disturbing. It makes the person to relive those uh, uh, traumatic experiences all of a sudden, even before their eyes. So, what is the avoidance? How you should avoid these things? Avoiding reminders of traumatic events may include avoiding people, places, activities, objects, and situations that may trigger distressing memories. So, an individual who is going through the PTSD, he or she should always avoid the reminders. Okay, what are the things that make him or her think that of that very same event, and even avoid people and the places and activities, objects, situation that may trigger that distressing memory. It is really very difficult, but it can be done. Okay, every time. People may try to avoid remembering or thinking about traumatic event. They may resist talking about what happened or how they feel about it. So, moreover, when these things are going on and when these situations are going on, every time the individual should be aware of such scenarios, and the individuals should be aware of the treatment also, right? How these individuals they can get the treatment, and how these individuals can deal with such situations, right? So they need a lot of psychiatric help. So, third one is alteration in cognition and mood. Inability to remember important aspects of the traumatic event, negative thoughts and feelings leading to ongoing and distorted beliefs about oneself or others. Okay, for example, I am bad, no one can be trusted. So, these things and distorted thoughts about the cause or consequence of the event leading to wrongly blaming self or others. Okay, ongoing fears, horrors, anger, guilt, or shame, much less interest in activities previously enjoyed, feeling detached from others, right? Or being unable to experience positive emotions. So these things, if you are having, you must repair them. Okay, when you deal with those things and when you deal with such individuality, overall the process of recovery and healing will start. Okay, so these are some symptoms. If you are having such kind of difficulty, then you might be suffering from some kind of PTSD. The fourth one is alterations in arousal and reactivity. Arousal and reactive symptoms may include being irritable and having angry outbursts, behaving recklessly or in a self-destructive way, being overly watchful of one's surrounding in a suspecting way, uh, being easily startled, or having problem concentrating on sleeping. So these are some very common symptoms. If you are having such issues, then you might be suffering from some kind of PTSD. So it is very much understood, and it is very much beneficial for individuals who are having such kind of symptoms. They should consider some kind of treatment. Negative and cognitions or mood. This refers to uh, the thoughts and feelings related to uh, blame and estrangement and memories of the traumatic events. Relieving. People with PTSD repeatedly relive the ordeals, thoughts, and memories of the trauma. Right. Every time these people they are always reliving these things. These may include flashbacks, hallucinations, nightmares. So they may also feel the great amount of distress when they are reminded of these things, and avoiding crowded places, people, and those odd situations that may trigger those memories. Increased arousal, so excessive emotional problems relating to others, including showing affection, okay, difficulty falling and or staying asleep. Okay, these people they have very uh, less sleep. Okay, they do have, because they might feel that if they will sleep, they will show some sort of insecurity, irritability, outburst of angers. So, being jumpy, they might also have self-destructive and suicidal thoughts also. Okay, such as increased blood pressure, heart rate, rapid breathing, muscle tension, nausea, diarrhea. All these things are very common. Many people who are exposed to traumatic events experience symptoms similar to those described above in days of the following in the event. So, for a person to be diagnosed with PTSD, okay, the symptoms can be having a lot of variation. Okay, some people might show some very less effect. Some people might show some more effect onto their personalities or their psychology. Okay, many individuals develop symptoms within 3 months of the trauma, but symptoms may appear later and often persist for months and sometimes years. So it is not immediate response. It is not an immediate response. Most probably, they are developed within the 3 months of that very particular period. PTSD often occurs with others related conditions such as depression, substance use, memory problems, and other physical and mental health problems. So, PTSD causes and risk factors. Everyone reacts to traumatic events uh, differently. That I was already telling you. Each person is unique in their ability to manage fear, stress, and the threat posed by a traumatic event or situation. Okay, so every individual they have a different uh, reaction pattern. For that reason, not everyone who has a trauma will develop PTSD. It is also very usual. Also, the type of help and support a person receives from friends, family members, and professionals following the trauma may impact the development of PTSD or severity of symptoms. So, if a person is developing some sort of symptoms and his family, friends, and family members are very supportive, and he is also receiving some sort of professional help, then the symptoms may vary in their expression. Okay, even the person can overcome the situation also. PTSD was first brought to attention after the for the medical community by war veterans. Hence, the name shell shock and battle fatigue syndrome was considered. So, during the First World War, many soldiers were suffering with these type of symptoms, and doctors were not at all able to understand what had been happening with them. However, anyone who has had traumatic event can develop PTSD. Okay, people who were abused as child or have been repeatedly exposed to life-threatening situation are at risk of developing PTSD. So, victims of trauma related to physical and sexual assault face the greatest risk for PTSD. So, how common is PTSD? About 3.6% of adult Americans, about 5.2 million people have PTSD during the course of a year. An estimated 7.8 million Americans will develop PTSD at some point in their life. So, PTSD can develop at any age, including childhood. Women are more likely to develop PTSD than men. This may be due to the fact women are more likely to be victims of domestic violence, abuse, and rape. So, that is why women are much more prone to be developing the PTSD. So, how PTSD is diagnosed? PTSD diagnosis. PTSD isn't diagnosed until at least 1 month has passed since the traumatic event happened. If the symptoms of PTSD are present, the doctor will begin an evaluation by performing a complete medical history and physical examination. Although there are no lab tests to specifically diagnose PTSD, the doctor may use various tests to rule out physical illness as a cause of the symptoms. If no physical illness is found, you may be referred to a psychiatrist, psychologist, or other mental health professionals who is specially trained to diagnose and treat mental illness. So, uh, as I have already told you, doctors they work on anatomy and physiology. If you are having some sort of difficulty, they will examine you. Okay, your medical history or physical examination. If you are fit and fine, then they will recommend you, and still you are having issues and problems, they will recommend you to a psychologist or psychiatrist or other mental health professional who is specifically trained in the case of diagnosis of such illness. So, psychiatrists and psychologists use specially designed interview and assessment tools to evaluate a person for the presence of PTSD or other psychiatric condition. The doctors uh, bases their diagnosis of PTSD on reported symptoms, including any problems with functioning caused by the symptoms. Doctors then determine if the symptoms and the degree of dysfunction indicate PTSD. PTSD is diagnosed if the person has symptoms of PTSD that last for a month, uh, more than 1 month. So doctors they are always trying to relate these PTSD symptoms with some sort of physical condition. Okay, they will examine the patient thoroughly, and they will also go through his or her medical history, and all going through all those physical examination, and they are trying to evaluate the degree of dysfunction that individual is suffering from. If the individual is not at all showing any signs of physical dysfunctioning, then he or she is recommended to a psychiatrist, psychologist, or any other medical health professional. So, PTSD treatment. The goal of PTSD treatment is to reduce the emotional and physical symptoms. Okay, to improve daily functioning and to help the person better manage with event that trigger the disorder. Treatment of PTSD may involve psychotherapy, that involves a type of counseling, medications, or both. So most of the time when it comes to the medication, doctor use certain type of antidepressant medications to treat PTSD and to control the feelings of anxiety and associated symptoms, including selective serotonin, reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, okay, such as Celexa, uh, Luvox, okay, Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft. These type of drugs they are used because they are mainly antidepressant. Okay, so these type of drugs they quite help a lot when the individual is suffering from any type of depression. They relax the individual. Certain blood pressure medicines are also sometimes used to control the particular symptoms, like parazosin for nightmares and clonidine for sleep and propranolol in to help minimize the formation of traumatic memories. Experts discourage the use of tranquilizers, okay, for PTSD because studies have not shown them to be helpful. Plus, they carry risk of dependence or addiction. So, if the individuals are always suffering from these kind of things and they develop a substance dependence, mainly alcohol or any other thing, these things or these tranquilizers have not been found to be really helpful in the case of PTSD. So other things like medicines and new techniques are being researched and are being carried out. So what is psychotherapy? Psychotherapy. Psychotherapy for PTSD involves helping the person uh, learn skills to manage symptoms and develop ways of coping. Therapy also aims to teach the person and their family about the disorder and help the person work through the fears associated with the traumatic event. A variety of psychotherapy approaches are used to treat people with PTSD, including cognitive behavioral therapy, which involves learning to recognize and change thought patterns that lead to troublesome emotions, feelings, and behavior. So, people are trained and to how to learn to avoid these triggers. Okay, if they are trying to what we say pinch an individual or they are trying to trigger that very whole event, then the individual must be trained in order to avoid those triggers to be normal. Psychodynamic theory focuses on helping the person uh, examine personal values and emotions, emotional conflicts caused by traumatic event. Family therapy may be used because the behavior of the person with PTSD can affect on other family members also. Group therapy may be helpful by allowing a person to share thoughts, fears, and feelings with other people who experience the very same traumatic event events. EMDR is a complex form of psychotherapy that was initially designed to alleviate distress associated with trauma memories and is now used to treat phobias. So PTSD might have some sort of complications. They can cause problems in every aspect of your life, including your job, your relationship, uh, your health, and your everyday activities. So it may also uh, make you very likely to develop other mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, drug or alcohol abuse, eating disorders, suicidal thoughts and actions. So recovery from PTSD is very gradual and ongoing process. Okay, slowly, slowly, a person can easily recover from it. Symptoms PTSD seldom disappear completely, but treatment can help people to manage it more effectively. So, treatment can lead to fear and less intense symptoms, as well as a greater ability to manage feelings related to trauma. Overall, the scenario is that if you are receiving therapy, then after a very short duration or very long duration of time, these symptoms may disappear and individual can learn to avoid those triggers, and that very individual can also learn to live a normal healthy life. So now we are going to move on to the MCQs. So a public prosecutor is a person, one who represents the interest of the state. Okay. Uh, so D, one who investigate crime, both A and B, or D, none of these. So the correct answer is uh, one who represents the interest of the state. What is the role of the judge? If you go through all the options, decide whether the accused person is guilty or innocent, uh, may send the person to jail, may impose fine or both, all of these. So a judge has to decide depending on the severity of the crime, what kind of punishment is suitable. Three, what is the fair trial? A fair trial is the trial in the presence of the accused. Okay, so accused person should see what are the what you say, what are the formalities are going on, how the things are being discussed, and how that person is held responsible, how people are defending him. All those things should be uh, what you say. They all come under fair trial. What is the best way to choose judges? Okay, so nominating by legislature, by executive, by political party, by people. Okay, because people they always select the most honest judges. The chief justice get retired at the age of 75 years. Okay, serving as a chief justice is a very crucial uh, post, not only for the institution but also for the whole country. Rule of law was defined by Gladstone. Okay, rule of law, he gave this golden rule that also helps a lot nowadays in law and order. The Indian judiciary consists of a dash for entire nation, the Supreme Court for entire. Okay, whatever the statements Supreme Court gives are the main thing. There's nothing above it. Martial judge is related with a constitutional law. Okay, what are the laws that have been recommended in Constitution? Martial judges will all give their decisions based on those laws. When you once see violating the law, one immediately think of informing the police first hand. Okay, if you are going to inform the police may come into the action and intercept the individual. According to Dash, every individual charged of a crime has to be given a fair trial. That is their main right because of the Constitution. Constitution of India give them this right. So these are the references from where we have taken the subject content. So now we are finishing this lecture. Thank you for listening to me very patiently.